Would you like to be more successful? Would you like to become one of the most knowledgeable, most interesting, most well-educated people on the planet? Hi, my name is Rodney Constable. Thank you for joining me on this video. Today, I'm going to share with you a critical success factor, something that has made a massive difference in my life. And folks, you have to do this. If you want to be more successful, there isn't a choice here, okay? And that is you have to read and or listen to 50 plus nonfiction books per year. If you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to be one of the most educated people on the planet, you must do this. All high-performing people have this common trait, and that is they read or listen to at least 50 plus nonfiction books per year. You're going to find this with all the CEOs of major corporations, anybody that's super successful. The key is you have to become an expert. You have to become super knowledgeable in your area of work as well as surrounding areas. You must make it a goal to read and or listen to at least 50 nonfiction books per year in the critical areas of life. Health, wealth, happiness, relationships. If you're in business, you need to study overall business. You need to study sales. You need to understand finance, economics. Just whatever it is you do, you need to drill down on every area of that, and you need to study that. And folks, make it a goal to spend 4% of your gross income. Now, the average person makes about $50,000 a year, right? So if you 4% of that is going to be $2,000 a year. Okay, let's just call that a couple $100 a month. All right. So if you are spending $200 per month, let's say that's $50 per week, that's 4% of your $50,000 a year. But at $50 a week, you can go easily through 1 to 2 nonfiction books per year. You may be able to get it done for 2% of your income. 2% of $50,000 is $1,000. Let's just call that $100 per month. Let's say that's $25 per week, just rounding these numbers, right? So at $25 a week, folks, most paperbacks and even hardcovers aren't even $25. And then if you're buying an audio course, that's going to be $20 to $25, $30 for a good audio MP3 CD, all right? Make sure that when you're driving, if you're in sales, if you commute back and forth to work, make sure you always have something educational in your car deck. If you don't have a CD player in your car anymore, MP3 player in your car, make sure you have something on Audible on your phone, right? Plug it into your vehicle when you're driving around. You can take and create what's called a university on wheels. That's what I call my vehicle, right? When you're driving around, especially when you're by yourself, you can be learning anything. My wife right now is learning a new language. So folks, it's unlimited what you can do. And the amount of education that's out there now, the amount of information that's out there now for pennies a day is unbelievable. But you have to employ it. You have to go after it. But I can honestly tell you that nothing has made a bigger difference in my life than reading or listening to at least 50 plus books per year. And I've been doing this now for over 37 years. So you run the math, that's about what, 1,850 books? That's a lot of books, but it's made a huge difference in my life. And I continue to do this to this day. I'll do this for the rest of my life. And I love to learn new things. And it's absolutely amazing. If you're competing, and remember, there's 7.6 billion people on the planet right now. Okay, 7.6 billion people, and you're competing against 7.6 billion people every day. How do you expect to win if you're not one of the best? And to be one of the best, you have to be one of the most educated people out there. And formal education, as Jim Rohn, the late great Jim Rohn said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Let me repeat that. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. What do you want? Do you want to just make a living, or do you want to make a fortune? Do you want to make a difference? And think about this. As you get into your 30s, 40s, your 50s, you probably graduated college in your early to mid 20s. If you don't continue educating yourself, I mean, think about if you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s now and you're watching this video, listening to this, think about how much has changed in the last 20 years. If you haven't read, and most people don't, if you haven't read very many nonfiction books over the last decade or two, how are you keeping up? They say that knowledge is doubling every 12 to 15 months right now. And that time is going to continue to compress. So as knowledge continues to double around the world, if you're not constantly taking in new information in all the most important areas of life, how do you expect to compete? How do you expect to keep up? Okay? Yes, this is work, but you can enjoy it. Study things that you really are interested in, and they will make a difference in your life. But make sure that they'll make a difference in the marketplace. Don't study things, in my opinion, okay? You have to make up your own mind about this. But I know for me, I have a massive personal library in the areas of sales, finance, real estate, overall business, customer service, economics, things that I can take to the marketplace that will make a difference, things that I can take out there and that will allow me to compete against some of the smartest, most well-educated people out there, and at least put myself in a position where I can win. It doesn't mean I'm going to win every time, but if I'm not studying, if I'm not reading, if I'm not prepared, there's no way for me to win. Abraham Lincoln said, "I will study and prepare myself, and someday my chance will come." Okay, I will study and prepare myself, and someday my chance will come. If you're not prepared and you get an opportunity, you're going to make yourself look like a fool. And really, folks, you don't have a choice here. If you really want to win, if you really want to be all you can be, if you really want to max out your life, and remember, you're a miracle. The fact that we're even alive is a miracle. The fact of the chance of somebody being born, and I'm going to make a whole nother video on this. I don't want to give it all away, but you are a miracle. Don't waste the miracle. Become everything you can become. The word is autodidact, okay? Autodidact, A-U-T-O-D-I-D-A-C-T. Autodidact means a self-educated person. You could have a master's or a PhD and be watching this video, but you don't know everything there is. Nobody does. Not on any one subject. There's just too much to know. So just because you perhaps have a great formal education, don't think that you can't employ this strategy and become even better. Okay? Everybody needs to be studying this stuff. And think about this too. If somebody takes maybe 10 or 20 years of experience in their life and they put it into a book, and that book becomes an audio, maybe it's paperback, audio, whatever, it goes on Audible, you are compressing 20 years, the best of their 20 years of learning, 10 to 20 years of learning, whatever it is that they put into that book, and you're gaining that experience for $20, $30 and maybe a week of your time, and you're compressing and getting the best ideas that they consolidated into that. This is an unbelievable way to gain knowledge from other people and do it in a very truncated way. I don't think a lot of people think about that, but it's a great time management strategy. And by the way, on this time management thing, I want to make sure that you don't miss this. I go with the unabridged books. I don't like, personally, and I've subscribed to these things in the past, but I don't like these services that consolidate the book and, maybe give it to you in a couple pages or, executive book summary type things. No offense to any of these businesses, but I don't like them. I have found that it's up to me what I'm going to get out of that book. And just because they think something's important or not important doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to agree with. So I do a lot of audiobooks because I drive a lot. I've been in sales pretty much all my adult life, and so it's given me an opportunities. I'm driving around. I'm constantly learning. I constantly have something in my vehicle that I'm learning, whether it's an audio, an Audible, MP3, CD, whatever, right? The good old days of cassette tapes. Aging myself, dating myself a little bit there, but I've been doing this for a long time. Again, 37 years, right? The medium has changed, but the practice of learning while you're driving around, it went from cassettes to CDs to MP3s and now Audible, okay? But the practice is the same. You must be continuously learning important new skills and keeping up to date with the best practices in business, in life, and like I said, relationships. Guys, human beings and having a relationship, whether it's at work or an intimate relationship with another person, you're in a marriage, you constantly need to be learning about how to deal with things as well. So this whatever it is, maybe you like to cook, right? Study cooking. It doesn't matter what it is, but keep getting better. There's a Japanese word for this, and I love this word. It's called Kaizen, Kaizen, Kaizen. It's the Kaizen principle. It's continuous improvement, and that's what I'm talking about here. The way to win in your life is through continuous improvement. And one of the best ways, and one of the things you have to do, beyond anything else you might do, you must continue to take in new information. You must read. You must listen to audios. You must continue to study. And at least 50 plus nonfiction books per year. Okay? So go out to Amazon or wherever you get your information. Put it on your Kindle. I have a Kindle reader on my phone, on my iPad, on my computer. And so use all these different mediums. Even if you just read a page or two at a time, it counts. It matters. And there's so many people now that are authors that can share things with you. Some of these Kindle books are $3-4, okay? So again, even if you just spend 2 to 4% of your gross income and you make the average income of, say, $50,000 a year, you can literally become one of the most well-educated, most knowledgeable people on the planet, irrespective of any formal education or lack of formal education that you have. This is a key critical success trait, and there is no substitute for it. You have to do this, and it's made a massive difference in my life. I personally don't know anybody. I know they're out there, but I don't know them. I don't know anybody that reads or studies more than I do, and it's made a massive difference in my life. I've been able to do things, accomplish things in business, and I've had earnings in the past that there's no way, if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't continued to study, if I hadn't continued to study and prepare myself, I wouldn't have been able to compete at the level that I have competed at in business and in sales. Okay? I've worked with some of the smartest, most well-educated people on the planet, former professional athletes that were super well known, and I've been able to compete with these people, but only because I've employed this strategy of constantly taking in new information in every area of my life, and especially my work life. This has made a huge difference for me, and I think you can see the passion coming through. I hope you can. But folks, there isn't any substitute for this. I don't care if you're 18 years old or you're 68 years old. Continue to read, continue to study, continue to learn, continue to expand your vocabulary, and drill down on those things that are important to you, okay? Whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about, but also make sure that you're studying things that you can take out into the marketplace where it can help you improve your quality of life, your earnings, okay? Because money is important, right? That's why it's not the only reason we work, but that is a major contributing factor. So make sure you're studying things that will make you more valuable in the marketplace. Thank you for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.